Welcome to Not a Great Whisperer podcast. This is your host, Katy Ray. I am joined by one of my friends, Ashley Smith, who we met at a networking event.
Yes.
Which is hilarious because you had like a booth in a really loud area.
It was very difficult.
Where were we? Okay, wait. This was before COVID.
Yeah.
Franklin Manor, maybe?
Yeah.
Tampa Business Network.
Yep.
And you had, oh my gosh, it had to have been so hard because you were right by the DJ.
Yes, it was very poorly placed.
And you're just like, this spot, I'm just going to do what I need to do.
From a business standpoint, it was very difficult to maneuver, but it was a super fun night and I got to meet you.
Yes,
so.
and we went for coffee after that and we kind of just chatted. And we've stayed cheerleaders for each other since. So
Absolutely.
I love that you're here. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like we talked about it during when we first shut down, and then we've been like figuring out what day to like make it happen. So I'm glad it finally has.
Yeah.
And she brought champs, a little bit of champs.
Katy knows how I roll.
I knew this was coming. Oh my goodness. So let's kind of talk about your journey. You work 2 jobs.
Yep.
Career mom, wife, sister, just all around kind of juggling a lot. You have a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And you have patients because you're a physical therapist.
Yes,
so
I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I've worked a lot of different settings in physical therapy. Right now I'm in the acute care setting. But when we met, I was working in the outpatient setting.
Oh, wow.
50 hours a week, no breaks, no nothing.
So how has this changed for you now with the, is it acute, you said?
Yeah, so now I'm working in the hospital and I love it. I've dropped down to what's called PRN. It's just as needed.
Oh,
so I don't have a full-time schedule. I work 3 days a week and basically they tell me where they need me to fill in. I work for 3 different hospitals. So
awesome.
I love it, honestly, because there's so much more flexibility. One thing that was really stifling for me in outpatient was your first patient was at 8 o'clock. Your last patient went till 5 o'clock. There was no flexibility. I had to get my daughter to daycare by 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was just really exhausting. So the burnout happened really quick. I was in outpatient for about 5 years before I was like totally done. So
I mean, that's long though.
Yeah. So my health and wellness business, my side gig, has just really allowed me the opportunity to have more flexibility in my time.
So let's talk about the side gig and how, people always be like, oh, it's one of those schemes.
One of those things.
And the moms are doing it.
Yeah.
Like, how has it benefited you? I think you've been doing great with it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I love the product. So I think that has to be like a number one is you have to actually believe in what you're doing. And a lot of people do have a misconception of the side gig, the multi-level marketing, network marketing, social marketing, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people
MLM
have
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, right. All the pyramids, not like the CEO is on the top and the middle management's in the middle and the workers are on the bottom.
Yeah,
but let's not talk about a real pyramid. But but no, honestly, it's. For me, it didn't start out as a money-making thing. I actually just signed up just for the discount, and that's what I wanted. And then it just grew, and it got to the point where it's brought me enough income to where I could literally quit full-time work. So for me, the journey has been a lot of personal growth, a lot of self-growth, a lot of believing in myself, believing in my company, believing in my products, believing in what I'm doing, because you do not get through this business easily. Like, people give you a lot of kickback. They give you a lot of judgment. They give you, their opinions, the unsolicited opinions. Yeah. And being a mom, I'm not used to that.
Yeah, you're like, okay. But you also had to step out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
So with social media in general, just letting people know where you are on your journey. Yeah. I mean, that's hard.
It took me forever to actually make my profile on Instagram public because I was like, I don't want people to see my kids. I don't want people to see, if I tag myself that I'm in Disney, I don't want, for some reason I thought it was like a security issue, which
just take off your location.
It is.
Just take your locations off.
But yeah, so I recently, probably the last 2 years, have actually just made my profile public, which I think if you're growing a business, you do have to have people see you.
Yeah, so, and that's where it is, right? Especially people being home so often and online. And it's Arbonne.
Yes, it's Arbonne. And honestly, even through the pandemic, the one thing that has not changed for me is my online business because it is an online platform.
You're already online.
Exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't anything different. And, I had to stop doing my in-home events and my table events, the kinds of where I met you, my events where I'm next to a DJ and I can't hear a damn thing. So I haven't done those anytime soon. But yeah, like I've just been so grateful for this opportunity that, it's like prepare for impact before impact actually happens. So that has been a huge blessing in my life.
And there's stuff that you do for Arbonne for your nephew, right?
Yeah.
I remember talking about that first time I met you, I feel like.
Did I bring it up the first time?
No, coffee. Because I was like,
appointment.
It couldn't have been the DJ. I did not hear that. No, because I was like, there's no way she could have gotten that whole story out.
That's an awkward conversation at the bar. Sorry, my bad.
No, it was not at the bar. But again, we weren't at a bar. You were at a booth in the middle of the dance floor. Totally different. Totally different. But yeah, if you want to share that, I think it's super powerful.
So it was January of 2019. Was it 19? I believe. And my sister had just moved down to Florida with her family. She had a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. And he just went for his 1-year-old appointment, just check up with the doctors. And they actually, one test led to another. They found out that he had cancer. He had a liver tumor that was about the size of an orange in a 1-year-old's stomach. And we've always noticed that he'd had a big belly. And we just thought it was the baby Buddha belly. We never thought anything about it. But then his nurse practitioner, who basically saved his life, was palpating his stomach and was like, this feels kind of hard. Maybe he's constipated. Maybe we have to look into something. Let's send him for an ultrasound. Let's send him for a couple of tests just to make sure nothing's bad. Well, of course, it came back bad. And on January 3rd, he was diagnosed with cancer.
So they were doing the usual push on the
stomach.
Yeah.
Like where they test to see if, he's got any backups or, the bowel basically feeling that. And it turns out he had an orange-sized tumor in his liver. He ended up having 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 3 major abdominal surgeries, 2 of which failed. So, which is why he needed to have 3. So that was a really difficult time for our family. Me and my sister are super close.
And they just moved here at that time,
They had just moved here. They were living in Naples at the time, and they actually moved their family to the Tampa Bay area so that they could be going to the hospital, All Children's in St. Pete. So they moved here for the quality of care.
Yeah, and you and your sister are super close. I've met her twice now at your little presentation.
Yeah, she's like my best friend.
Yeah, of course. I have 2 sisters too. I get it. So you have 2 girls?
I have 2 girls, 6 and 2.
So does the 6-year-old remember any of this?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't bring her to the hospital. I mean, I visited the hospital a lot to see my sister. I would always bring her sushi. And
of course you want to bring
your baby. I would bring her food. I would bring her alcohol. I would sneak it into the hospital. That was before they were doing like checks. Yeah. But
those were the good old days.
Yeah, I mean, my poor sister and my poor brother-in-law, they only had one parent stay overnight because the other parent had to be with the 3-year-old. So my sister would stay overnight, and then they would switch, and then Dave would stay overnight. But it was, oh my God, to see my little nephew in the hospital bed. And of course they had to weigh his arms down because he doesn't know what's going on. He's got tubes coming out of his body.
So he wouldn't grab it.
He's 1 year old. So he would pull on tubes and try to pull them out. So they had to weigh his arms down. And it was like, oh, it was so sad. But, I'm happy to say at this point, he is cancer free. The treatments worked, the surgeries worked, and he goes for his regular blood work and checkups, and everything has been coming out positive at this point.
Shout out to that nurse practitioner.
Absolutely. She saved his life.
Did going through that a little bit kind of push you away from the 8 to 5 job a little bit to get more on, kind of push towards Arbonne and get more income through that?
It did push me to the, I literally, when my nephew was going through his first surgery and I had to go to work that day and I couldn't be in the hospital with my sister to just be next to her and be at her side, I cried all day at work. Mm-hmm. Like my boss thought I was nuts because I was like, I'm going to be a mess today. My husband or my nephew is in surgery and I had my phone on me. And of course you get yelled at for having your phone on you. And I was like, if you say anything to me about having my phone on me, I'm literally going to walk out the door because I have to check my phone. I have to check for updates. The first surgery was hours and hours long. Like, oh my God, when they said it was supposed to take 3 hours, it ended up taking 6. Like you get to that 4th hour and you're like, why haven't I heard anything?
And you just wanted to sit with her.
So yeah, it really, it really shifted my focus on being able to find something that will have flexibility and not have an hourly, trading your time for money. For me, at least, that's like personally, I wanted something where if I needed to be in the hospital next to my sister while somebody she loved was having a surgery, somebody I loved was having a surgery, I wanted to be able to do that.
Yeah, so. And which you should be able to.
Yeah, and like my dad's having a procedure in December, and I am manipulating my schedule to the point where I can be there for when he gets home. I'm not going to be able to be there because of COVID. I'm not going to be able to be there for his surgery, but I'm going to be able to be there at the house when my mom brings him home.
And that's what you can do now. Yeah. So talk all you will about pyramids. It works out. So tell me about some of the client, like how is that fulfilling? Because you know how the product works for yourself and then helping other and women and men, because it's actually been both.
Yes.
Like my cousin it was in New York and he finished his like 30-day or 60-day, or he was telling me about it. And I was like, oh my God, you should have told me. I have a friend.
Yeah.
But it's women and men.
Yes.
So how has that been for you? Like just
I love it.
People that you don't even know, right? Reaching out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I have the ability to have men, women, children, grandmas. We say we have products for anyone from the basket to the casket, because literally we have baby products all the way to anti-aging.
Wait. I don't know if that's a good part.
You're going to make me pause there.
You just said from the basket to the casket. Okay, touche.
Yeah,
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
She's filling up.
That was probably one of the best marketing phrases I've ever heard.
I can't take marketing credit for it. I don't know where.
That's the greatest thing.
I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard it from somebody, and I was like, "That's right."
So funny.
But it has the ability to reach out to men and women. We have nutrition products, we have workout products, we have skincare, we have vegan makeup, we have spa products. And
I need to look into the skincare for anti-aging, getting in that regimen.
It's life changing. My skin has felt amazing since we just launched.
You're like, thank you. I look younger than you. Thank you
so much. No.
So went to school, physical therapist, doctor of physical therapy. Mm-hmm. Your husband is in tech, right?
No, he's actually in insurance. He's a business analyst for an insurance company.
Oh, okay. When you were making the shift over, was he like, do what you want? Did you have to convince him?
No.
Oh. Was he like, okay, if you're going to get it, that's fine. Like, just let it ride. Or did he ask a ton of questions?
No. So when I first signed up with Arbonne, he thought, as normal adults would, is that this was, just another one of those things, like another thing that Ashley's signing up for. And, this will last a certain period of time.
Workout clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that, I've kept with it so long. I mean, he definitely probably got on board about 2 years into it, where he was like, okay, maybe it's not just a hobby. Maybe she is actually doing it. And I've invested a lot of personal energy and growth and personal mindset growth into this business. So he's definitely come aboard now. But when I told him that I was going to leave full-time work, he was not on board. He's very just traditional of you're going to have benefits. And now, don't get me wrong, my PRN job does give me a 401k. So I do have benefits. But as far as healthcare benefits, I'm like, well, you have healthcare benefits in your job. I can go on the family plan and we could do it that way. So I was like, really, there was nothing in it for me to stay with this full-time, job that I was unhappy in. I was not happy. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I did not enjoy the company of the people I worked with.
You're not seeing the girls a lot. And,
I was dropping them off at 7:00 in the morning. I was picking them up at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. I mean, which
is a lot in general for you to have to do every day.
Yeah. So he was totally not on board. But now that we've made the transition, it's been over a year. It's been about a year and a half now that I've done 3 days a week, and then I do Arbonne to supplement the rest of that income.
Awesome.
We've made it through, we've been very fortunate during this entire time of just, we did not have a lot of change to our lifestyle.
Income. Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's the big thing, right? Like income, what's coming in, or if you're investing in something, where's the other,
Yeah.
But the fact that you were able to make it an easy transition, you're welcome, you can say to him.
I'm going to make him listen to this.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But it's hard because as a family, you have to make decisions when you make big changes. But at the same time, physically and mentally, 7 to 5:30 every day with no breaks or flexibility is hard. And then not being able to move your schedule around so that you can make big things like surgeries or things like that. Like that's a lot on people. And people don't put the people aspect in it. Yeah. Like you're a person, you need to be somewhere.
And I loved having the connections with the patients that I had at the outpatient center. I mean, I got to see them 3 times a week. Like I have become actually friends with a lot of the patients that I still send Christmas cards to. So don't get me wrong. Like I loved the connections that I had with patients. But the other part of it was just so mentally draining that I go to my husband, I was like, no amount of money is worth the mental drain. And it's not for me. Like it's not. It's never been.
And you have to be aware of that because you just have to know your limit. Yeah. So what's been the hardest part of your journey? Kind of switching to still 2 jobs. But what's been kind of the obstacle that you faced?
Probably just the negativity surrounding what I do. Like I'm super proud of what I do. I'm super proud of the company that I'm aligned with.
Do you get that much negativity?
You get a lot of negativity. You get a lot of people who you think originally were going to be very supportive of you. Just their reactions to what you're doing, and they again just think you're gonna like just poke them for a sale and and it's like for me it's not about the sale
because someone's been put a bad name on it that now you're getting that.
In the 80s and the 90s, like the whole they have made a mockery of this industry, and it is a viable industry for some. It is not a viable industry for certain people. And that's totally okay. But unfortunately, it's like those certain people still try to do it and then they still fail. And then they blame the industry. They don't take ownership of their own actions.
That's where you're getting that feedback of like,
yeah. So, somebody who's maybe had an experience with a company in the past and then are like, don't even talk to me. Don't even look at me about this. And, I have lost friendships over the years from people who didn't like what I was doing. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I guess you weren't that good of a friend.
Thank you for actually giving me that moment.
Thank you.
Not
next.
be friends with you.
For me.
Yeah. And how has that, I mean, I bet we've met each other through this. So what really successful things have happened? Like maybe some of your clients.
God, I've met the best people through not just this company, but the things that I do with this company. Like, for example, that networking event, like brought you into my life. And like, I love watching your journey on social media. I love watching your kids. Like, it's so cool that you get to just have the most amazing people brought into your life that if I was not doing what I was doing, I would not be meeting these certain people. So.
And I always say that it doesn't matter how long you've known someone. It's really like in your season, the people you like need. And I remember, I think I was getting pregnant during that time.
You were pregnant.
I was pregnant. Okay, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I was like, was I
you were
in
just
IVF? I think I was just doing. Oh yeah.
I was like, how come you're not drinking with me?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't drink right now. How come you're not? How dare you not drink with me? But my thing is,
this friendship is over.
Different seasons and. It is. It's like, and with COVID, I mean, we're all taking precautions and not able to do like play dates and things like that we want. But it's like, those are the mature people you want around.
Yeah.
Like, you want to surround yourself with really good people. And when you start a new season and the other people aren't there to support you. Yeah. And it's not like you're asking them to buy all your products, but don't be nasty and negative.
No. And
you just want people to support you. It's like, next.
And honestly, like everybody in life, for me, is either a lesson or a blessing. So like you're going to meet somebody, you're going to think they're the coolest person in the world. Maybe it'd be like, somebody that you're dating or somebody, this is the one, and then maybe it doesn't work out the way that you think it's going to work out. It's like, well, there's a reason that person came into your life because there was a lesson that you needed to learn. And my truest friends are the ones that I don't have to talk to for months. And then I call them and we sit there and we chat for an hour. Like, I love that because like, I'm so busy.
And they don't make you feel guilty.
Yeah. Like if I don't have the ability to like be catching up with somebody for a really long time, like my best friend in the whole world lives in Jersey City and we text each other back and forth, but like as far as having a physical conversation, but honestly, like when we do talk, there has not been a minute passed since the last time we talked.
Like, don't you wish we could tell younger generations this? Like, just don't worry about that little thing because you think about back. And it's so true because one of my very close friends lives in Cali. We're on different time zones. We're and it's hard to always catch up. But when we do, there's no guilt. Yeah. It's just catching up, whatever. The kids are screaming in the background, whatever. Yep. But it's really important for people to realize that. And I do feel like it's with age that we learn this because
It's about it's about
you can't
like
tell
quality,
younger
not
generation.
quantity.
I know, it really is.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you just want to be the most popular and you want to make sure that everybody loves you.
Oh yeah.
But that's an important thing for you to even know in your business. Like, I just can't believe how much negativity you get.
Yeah. But like on the lines of like quality over quantity, you know, like I can't imagine kids now like going through high school and like having social media, because I didn't have social media going through high school.
Anxiety's real.
Oh my God.
I shut mine down sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I can tell my demeanor changes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I leave my phone. I don't have my phone next to me when I go to sleep. My phone stays in the kitchen, and at like 9 o'clock, I go to bed early.
Ditto? Is that a bad thing?
No, that's an amazing
I tell people
thing.
they get a hold of me at 5 a.m. better than they can at 8 p.m. That's just how my life is.
It's like if you text me at 10:30, I will respond to you at 6 in the morning. Like that is just.
One time my sisters were like, "This is aggressive 6 a.m. text." I was like, "I'm just responding to your 10 p.m. text." They're like, we can't have these type of texts at 6 a.m.
Yeah. I am definitely at the age where I'm just like, you're just going to hear from me tomorrow.
I've also responded because I pump in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. And I respond to people and I'm like, Katie, you can't respond to people at this time.
Because some people keep their phones next to them, right?
Yeah.
And then they ding and then they wake up and they're just, I don't know, this whole slave
like
to the phone.
It's basically like a booty call.
Yeah.
You're welcome, whoever got in trouble for my text.
Oh, you're funny.
That is, I mean, I go to bed early. I don't think we should be judged.
No.
We're just trying to get some sleep.
It feels so good.
We're just trying to get some sleep. How old are the girls?
6 and 2.
Oh yeah, I remember because
she'll be 3 in December. So she's close to being 3.
2 sisters. That's so much fun for a person who's a sister to have sisters.
Yeah,
because I have the 4-year-old and the almost 1-year-old are sisters. Yeah. So for me, I love Jaden's dynamic with them. Because he's super cute with the baby. He gets a little irritated with the 4-year-old. But I you know, my older brother and my 2 sisters, but I was the youngest, so
I was very happy when we had number 2. You know, of course, they're like, "Do you want a boy? Do you want a girl?" Yeah. And honestly, I want either one, because I want my sister to have a sister. I want my daughter to have a sister, because I had a sister, and it's the best thing in the world. So honestly, if we had a boy, I would definitely be having a third to have a girl.
Have sisters.
And now that we have 2 girls, I'm definitely gonna have a third to try to have a boy. No.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah, this is where my husband can turn off the podcast.
Thank you. This is where you can now shut down. So how is that for you too? So you have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. Mm-hmm. So you get the question all the time, are you going to try for a boy?
Of course.
Like every other second, because people don't just let you live.
No, as soon as you have a first, they're like, when's the second one coming?
I can't. When I was pregnant,
like, chill out.
I was super mean to people because I did IVF. So I was like already stressed out of my mind. So I was like, can you just let me get through this pregnancy?
Right.
Like, you have no idea how many injections I just put into my body. Right. Can you back up?
Yeah.
But I was like a little aggressive. But
how
it was
traumatizing birth can be. And then they're like, when are you having the second one? You're like, I'm just trying to keep this little tiny human alive. Yeah. Give me a second.
This one needs to be okay. Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
So you get that all the time because people can't just let you live with 2 girls, right?
No, of course not. No. But I'm definitely, my mindset is I want to have a big family. We had come from an Italian family, so I would welcome a large family. However, I do not physically want to birth all of them out of my vagina. I want to adopt.
I want to
adopt.
So I am such a huge
even if we did not have like another natural birth child, I would definitely be welcoming more children into my family through adoption at some point.
That just made my heart happy. We originally, when I was told I couldn't have kids naturally, I looked into adoption. I used to work for an adoption agency when I was in high school, and I saw the sadness and also the joy through it. I don't like how expensive it is for people. I think the
system it's horrible. It's nuts.
But I find it, family's family. I have stepbrother and sister who are my sister and brother. But family's family, and it's very amazing to see people that want to adopt and go. That's an also hard process.
And I want to adopt not like a newborn. I know there's a lot of families out there who want
I want a baby
straight out of the hospital. No, like I want to bring in somebody who's in the system. Like I want to bring in a child and love them unconditionally, like they were my own. Somebody who is in the system, because I think those children really, really, really need loving homes. And
so I have a couple friends who are in foster too. So waiting for adoption. So that's a big thing. And that's like a huge thing to want, because you have to know that you can handle all.
And you can love it. Yep.
It's hard to handle just the the heartbreak that child went through. And I'm this might get political, but that's pro-life to me. I'm not telling someone what their uterus needs to do, but pro-life is taking care of the kids who are in the system. That's what pro-life should be, not pro-birth. So for me, it's like, if you're going to preach, not people have abortions, you need to also preach on helping these kids who are in the system, stuck in a system, carrying their stuff in garbage bags and taking it to the next home. Like, because that's really a big deal. And they want love and family, and they make it so hard for people.
Yeah. And plus, like, that's why it's so expensive, because so many couples who maybe can't have children, or maybe they're a gay couple and they want to adopt a baby. They want a baby. They want a baby fresh out, just born. They want to take them home from the hospital. So I want to give those couples, I don't want to take that away from those couples, because I've already been able to take a baby home from the hospital. I've been able to take 2 babies home from the hospital. So, like, I want to be able to I don't want to take that away from somebody who can't physically do it.
I love that.
So
that's huge.
I would love to adopt, like, a little child.
I already loved Ashley. I love her more.
I would love you forever.
So there's there's a big thing with Tampa General that has, like, monthly, they have infants left at birth.
Oh, what? That breaks my heart. That
right?
absolutely breaks my heart.
So I'm going to start joining the council. I'll tell you about it. Thank you. We just went off topic. Also the champs. But I think that's so, your heart is huge, knowing that there are physically people can't have the baby. So you want them to have that moment. So you will then help another kid in the system, to 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or, I hope your husband's on board.
We'll find out.
Hello?
We'll find out after this podcast.
Are you still listening?
No.
But I think that's
he
huge.
knows
I've also thought of that too. I'm getting through the baby stage right now, but I'm the same way with that. So I kind of wish, in a way, I was one of those women who are really good at being pregnant.
Oh, I hate being pregnant.
Because I would love to be a surrogate for people I love that I know should be parents.
Absolutely.
I think the only reason I don't mind the pregnancy part, I think I have a little bit of I don't want to call it trauma, because it's not the shots and all my hormonal ups
you
and
have
downs,
to go through the IVF.
because you add hormones on top of your hormones. Which aren't really that much fun. But I think people out there who actually are, like, great at being pregnant should help every family they could who can.
Yeah.
Like, right? It'd be surrogacy for everybody.
There are some women who absolutely love the process. They love.
And look great doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Feel great doing it.
I was a whale.
Great doing it.
I was a manatee. I did not, and it's so funny because when I was first pregnant with my daughter, and we didn't know the sex yet, and somebody at work, I believe she was of Indian culture, and she was like, "Do you feel pretty?" And I'm like, I don't understand the question. And she was like, well, in my culture, if you feel pretty, if you feel glowing, you're having a boy. But if you feel ugly and nasty, you're having a girl, because she's sucking the beauty from you. And I'm like, really? I feel terrible.
First of all,
is that true?
That is true. But I feel like I felt, well, gosh, I've had a boy. I don't know.
I was going to say, you've had both. So I've only had 2 girls, and I feel terrible.
Huge. I looked huge with Jaden, but I feel like I was chasing a 2-year-old when I was pregnant with her. So I don't really recall all of it, except that I had horrible acid reflux. So, like, that's hilarious to me. Not like hilarious, awesome their culture does that, but that's
the wives' tales and the things like, oh, you're carrying high, you're carrying this,
you're carrying that. Do you feel like shit today? You have a girl inside.
I know. That's what I was like, I don't understand the question. She caught me off guard, but it was really cool that she was like, oh, well, if you feel ugly, you're having a girl.
Well, that's my new favorite thing. I'm going to tell everybody that. How do you feel today? It's a girl.
Because that's what pregnant girls want to hear.
Shit? It's definitely a girl, because she took all of your beauty.
She took all your energy.
You also look like shit. Thank you. Go on. Go on, live your life. Have a joyful pregnancy.
Oh my God.
But I love that. I think it's super important for people to realize there's ways to have big families.
Yeah. Oh God, there is options.
A lot of women stay away from saying, like, I didn't feel great pregnant. Yes, blessing. I am blessed beyond measure. But, like, there's a way you feel. And when you're next to, like, a couple of my CrossFit coaches got pregnant at the same time I did. So, like, standing next to a CrossFit coach who you know is going to get a 6-pack right after they give birth,
right.
You're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
But that's also society in your head, like, image. I felt cute. sometimes.
Yeah. No, there's definitely like a few moments, but I mean,
like those 3 times.
Yeah.
Great. And then 10 months, I was ready to scream.
Honestly, for my baby shower, for my first one, my baby shower, the day of, now I flew to New York because my family's in New York. So I flew home. My mother-in-law was gracious enough to have a beautiful shower planned for me. It's a beautiful place in Schenectady. It was just gorgeous. Oh no, I think it was in Scotia. It doesn't matter. Either way, wherever she had it. I had so much sickness that morning. I was throwing up nonstop. I threw up literally like 5 seconds before we got into the car. I did not do my hair. I did not do my makeup. The pictures looked terrible at my baby shower, but I was like, my whole family.
This is real.
Yeah, like, because my family's from closer to New York City.
How are you not going to go?
So I was like, I can't not go because my whole family's traveling in the snow to get to this baby shower.
You know what, though? Surround yourself with women that told you looked great.
Yeah.
And they did. And they told you looked great. And you're like, thank you.
I'm not wearing eyeliner.
I just threw up in the table. It's fine.
Yeah, in my napkin.
But that's not like that Amy Schumer special of her.
Oh, I know.
Going through all of that was just like the coolest and realest thing to me. And horrible that she went through all that. But like she was so real about it. And I'm like, this is it. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. It is a blessing. But like you don't always feel
like
great.
we shouldn't have to downplay how shitty we feel. Like our bodies are growing a human. So I shouldn't have to downplay the shit that I feel. Like I'm sorry.
Feeling like shit. Also just puked in your yard.
Postpartum, everything. Like
oh my God, I told you the postpartum during a pandemic is real.
I could not imagine what
all the
pregnant
women who
girls are
so
going through right now.
We gave birth right before everything was shut down. So I was really, I think Jasmine knew to come early. She's like,
because your husband was able to be there.
My mom's crazy. So like, we better
She's
do
not going to
this.
use it by herself.
We better do this now. Is she crazy?
How early did she come?
3 weeks early.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, super small, 5 little pounder.
That's
Thank
like
you.
whenever I was 36 weeks pregnant, I was like, okay, this baby can come any moment.
Right, yeah. The lungs are fine. But I was, I was definitely going through like the fear. And that's when I noticed like social media needs to be shut off sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the guy who didn't pass science class shouldn't be telling you how to feel right now.
I know. Yeah.
So that's hard for you because social media is a huge part of your business.
It is.
So it's like understanding when to shut off you, but still post. Like post, but shut off.
Exactly. I use my social media very, very strategically, and I prioritize. So like if I'm on social media for my business, I am not scrolling through people's reels. I'm not scrolling through. I do not have TikTok thing.
That's a perfect thing for high school.
Yeah.
Like understanding like we're adults. We know when to stop scrolling.
Yeah.
Think about kids.
Yeah.
Just like sadness. I'm not there. Yeah. It's like anxiety galore.
Yeah. I'm very deliberate with my social media because you can get caught into that hole. You can get into the social media hole. 3 hours later, you're like, what happened?
So I feel like you're super organized. Are you super organized?
I'm OCD.
Do you have like a chart? Okay. So how do you prioritize your week with both jobs and the kids?
So everything's color coded on my
Shut
calendar.
your mouth. Do you have a calendar?
I have a calendar.
I love it.
So I actually have 3 calendars.
Oh.
So I'm like, when you say OCD, like I am super, if I do not, and everybody who knows me knows this, if I do not keep my life together and organized, shit hits the fan. And like,
well, at least you know.
So I have, the kitchen calendar that has all of our combined activities, the girls' activities, everything. Everything's color coded. So my work schedule is blue. My Arbonne is green. The girls' schedule is yellow. Appointments are orange. Like my hair appointments are purple. So everything, everything is very organized. And then we have a shared phone calendar, me and my husband, so that if he books something that he has to do, because he also has a side business as well. So, excuse me. If he has to book something that he's like, I'm not going to be able to like keep an eye on the girls at this point, like who puts it in the calendar and I put my stuff in the calendar. So we share that. And then I have an Arbonne calendar that I take with me in my purse. So
okay. Well, here's how to prioritize as a person with OCD. So what do you think is something you can give tips to working moms who really want to kind of branch off to what their current career to something like what's something you can tell them to kind of give them like hope?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely no expert in this, but I know what's worked for me is figure out what you want to be passionate about. If you don't know what you want, aimlessly running through different careers and different jobs and different businesses, you're not going to have any success. So you need to understand first what you want. And then B, you just have to prioritize. So like on my calendars, funny, I prioritize time that is no cell phone. So it's time that I'm in the living room with the girls playing. It's usually around bedtime. So typically between 8 to 9, I don't have my phone with me. I leave it in the kitchen. And then if I'm putting the girls down or if I'm reading to my 6-year-old, I'm having her read back to me. I'm fully present. So I don't want to take away any time from them, but they also know sometimes that when mommy's working, even though I'm in my office and they come in and they like want to do something with me, I'm just like, mommy's working right now.
So they'll play behind you and stuff.
No, I even just have my husband take them in the other room. Yeah, because I'm like, if this is my time that I've designated to work, and then I have to designate it to work because my job has to work, Yeah,
like, and I try to do that, but I love that you put in the no cell phone time in your calendar. I'm going to start doing that. I'm taking that because that's important, because why do we put everything else in our calendar?
Yeah. The one thing I don't do is I don't start my morning staring at my phone. So if my phone is plugged in the kitchen, I wake up and I go in the bathroom and brush my teeth, wash my face, go to the bathroom, all that stuff. So I've already gotten like 15, 20 minutes into my day without staring at my phone. And then when I walk into the kitchen, that's when I can see who's messaged, who's commented, who's liked, who do I have to respond to, things like that. And then, so I don't start with my day with my phone, and I don't end my day with my phone. My phone gets plugged in the kitchen again, and I go in my room and I read.
Do you feel different?
Yeah. Oh my God. Mindset wise, like it is, I try before I go to bed to do personal development reading. So to be able to shut my brain down with positive thoughts, and then helps me wake up in the morning feeling grateful. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I put my feet on the ground. I say thank you. So I just need to be grateful for.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, a few years now. Ever since I've read the book, The Secret. If you have not read The Secret, read The Secret. Okay. I forgot who said it, but somewhere in the book said, wake up and put your feet on the ground, say thank you. Every step you take, the right foot, thank, left foot, you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every time you walk.
Wow.
Just be great.
Isn't it funny how people take pieces that can like change their life that people don't realize?
Nuggets,
like you take, I love that so much.
And don't be afraid to read a book more than once, because the first time you read it, you might not take something away from it. And then the second time you're like, you take something completely different away from it.
Two, I've already read twice because I'm like, this is intense.
Oh, I read The Secret all the time.
I need to read The Secret. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. Okay. So where do we find you, businesswoman?
So, my biggest thing is Instagram. I love posting a lot of my lifestyle, a lot of my, I don't do a lot of like product posts on Instagram just because people don't want to be sold to, but I do show people a lot of my lifestyle that Arbonne has been able to afford me. So my Instagram is at Ashley_Smith 0104. Okay. And Ashley Smith is spelled normal, ASHLEY. Smith, SMITH. That's why I married a Smith. It's going to be easy to follow.
Super easy. Never forget.
And then just my website is www.ashleysmith.arbonne.com. Okay. And Arbonne is ARBONNE.
Awesome. Are you excited? First podcast?
I'm so excited. I was so nervous.
We did it.
Thank God for champagne.
Thank goodness for champs and your sister from brunch.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on today. You'll find Ashley on Not a Great Whisperer podcast page at The Real K-Ray, katyray.com. We're at BK Creative Studio in Ybor. Thank you. I'm taking a couple tips from today. I hope you are. And I'm so glad we finally did it.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
This is fun.
Bye.